What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Arturo Leon, aka Ayo Music Man, coming at you. YouTube videos, absolutely smooth grooves Radio 1. I haven't, this is, I'm pretty much new to the YouTube world and everything. I'm a podcaster, music podcaster, so my first time on really recording on YouTube, and allow me to properly introduce who I am and what I do. Once again, Arturo Leon, aka Ayo Music Man. And what I do is a music podcast, Smooth Grooves Radio 1, SGR1. The weeknight wind down goes live Monday through Friday and Saturdays. Absolutely. The weeknight wind down, the Friday night, every night is different. First of all, it's a music podcast, different from, very much different from standard radio. I play the hits and the rarities of nostalgic R&B, hip hop, and smooth jazz, or even jazz music and smooth jazz and jazz music, along with my partner, Miss Naturally Just Safi of JSB Oil Blends, thejustsafispot.com. Actually, sign up for her monthly newsletter for updates on all of her content creating stories and specials, which includes exclusive access to JSB oil blend products, meaning JSB oil, JSB not just Safi blend oils, along with the latest updates on all of her content creating stories, exclusive access on health and hair consultations is what she specializes in, along with her Just Safi blend oil. So go to her official website, thejustsafispot.com, for all details. That's my partner right there, Miss Naturally Just Safi. You can actually follow her on Naturally Just Safi on Instagram, as well as her brand Just Safi Blend on Instagram. Again, Naturally Just Safi and Just Safi Blend on Instagram. Absolutely. So with Smooth Grooves Radio 1, my music podcast, the hits and the rarities of nostalgic R&B, hip-hop, and smooth jazz, dedicated to the lates and the greats, meaning, people say they're missing, artists like, the lates, meaning artists like a Michael Jackson, like Aaliyah, like, even Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. Although she's known mainly for TLC, but believe it or not, she did have a solo record out. She had she did have a Supernova, and I think I Legacy. I think it's a 2 CD set. But look it up. Obviously, it's on YouTube. Look it up. But again, that, along with Luther Vandross, Prince, just so many artists, even artists, from groups, like Tony Thompson from High Five, you know what I'm saying? Again, R.I.P. to all the artists that I'm naming. Those are the lates, and then you have the greats. Going back to even the Motown era, the Temptations, James Brown, Diana Ross and the Supremes, artists like that. We're the contemporaries. We're today's modern day versions of, the new additions, Johnny Gill, Ralph Tresvant, the whole, BBD and, that whole crew. Where's a contemporary modern day version? Everybody knows that every 10 years, every generation has their great artists, similar to all the artists that I just named, And as far as hip hop, that everybody has their favorite hip hop artists. So, it's not about a real art. I don't even want to get into that, but what a real artist is, it depends on what your favorite artist is. You can go into, some people could say, take it back to, the party day, the original party days of hip hop, when hip hop was originated. And of course, everybody can talk about where hip hop originated. I'm not even going to get into that. And I'm pretty sure people will come out the woodwork and swear that it was created everywhere. But wherever you're from, and hip hop was played wherever you are from, again, a lot of, depending on what hip hop is worldwide now. And you had, like, back in the day, you had, the African Bambadas, you had the Sugar Hill Gang, you had, you know, you had the KRS-Ones, you had the, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Princes, you had the Heavy D's, you had, you know, LL Cool J, of course, you had Rakim, you had, so many artists, even producers like the Jermaine Dupri's, the Puff Daddies, and, you had, of course, Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, or Biggie. You had just so many, you know what I mean? Nas, DMX, you had 50, you had, just, Will Smith solo, Jazzy Jeff solo, you had Ice-T, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah. I mean, whew, that's a whole other story. But again, the history of hip-hop is and the history of hip-hop is relevant. But again, people are missing artists and that's just a sample, obviously, but people are missing artists like that, and with SGR1, Smooth Grooves Radio 1 Music Podcast, this is all about the hits and the rarities of keeping that nostalgia alive, keeping that. So you have the hits and the rarities of all the artists I pretty much just named. And, you can listen live on blogtalkradio.com/SmoothGroovesRadio1. Go to blogtalkradio.com. Follow Smooth Grooves Radio 1. First of all, create an account. It is free. Create an account. It is free. Follow Smooth Grooves Radio 1. And you will be automatically notified for showtimes. It won't send you all kind of emails that have nothing to do with anything. It's just sending you a notification when we go live. And that's it. And then, of course, if you can't listen live, you can always listen to the archives on blogtalkradio.com/SmoothGroovesRadio1. You can always listen to the archives right there. And depending on where you're from, of course, this is the weeknight wind down. So even if you're getting ready to go to work or coming back from work, you can listen to it in your car, on your phone. It's really only 2 hours. So if you miss a whole week and you have all day, you can listen to as many shows for you to see fit. But again, when you're going to bed, when you're going to bed or getting out of bed, when you're going to work or coming home from work, wherever you're going or coming from, you can always listen to the archives. Absolutely. So, you can also go to the official website, smoothgroovesradio1.com. The link is right there as well. And, of course, the link in the bio actually, it's in the description right down there. You can listen to it anytime. And on Instagram, SGRadio1_LLC. And, of course, on Facebook, SGRadio1LLC. Absolutely. So, again, it's a music podcast dedicated to lates and the greats of music listening experience. And for all small, it's also other than just a music podcast. It's also an advertising business, for content creators, independent, private, and small businesses, independent artists, R&B, hip hop, and jazz. You can have your music played on the website or on the show as you present it as a special guest. Content creators, independent, small businesses. You can have a banner or a pop-up ad on the website as presented on the show as a special guest, or a 30-second commercial spot. Different things to do, ladies and gentlemen. Email smoothgroovesr1@gmail.com. And, between myself and my partner, we will definitely get back to you. Go to the official website, smoothgroovesradio1.com for all details. Live tonight, Saturday night special, blogtalkradio.com/smoothgroovesradio1. Check it out, live tonight. And don't forget, subscribe, Arturo Leon, Smooth Grooves Radio 1. Although I'm pretty sure in YouTube, right there in the description, it'll just say Arturo Leon, but in the description, it describes, who I am and what I do. So subscribe, and I'll keep you in touch. Take care. See you tonight.